Hello YouTube family, I'm back again. I just filmed the video for November and I thought I'd just go ahead and film this video for the next full moon because it's not too far away, and this full moon is happening on November 5th in Vedic astrology in Aries and in the star called Bharani. And the first thing that came to mind when I thought about this full moon is that it is happening not long after Halloween, and Halloween is this day where we're celebrating the dead and scaring away the evil spirits and what isn't of light. And the full moon happening in Aries in Bharani is ruled by god Yama, who is the god of death and rebirth, and Bharani holds this powerful energy of that void-like state where there is an actual rebirth taking place. So I feel it's interesting to experience this full moon at the start of November following Halloween at the end of October. And Bharani is also ruled, the symbol is the yoni, so there is a lot of this energy to do with the powerful divine feminine wisdom and power of creation, of literally life is like through the yoni life is formed, giving birth to something new and creating and manifesting and bringing something into form. So usually full moons are to do with a death, a clearing, a cleanse, a release, a purification of the old, and a shedding of what doesn't serve us, which is really connected with the energies of Bharani. But with Bharani is in being in Aries, there is also so much energy to do with this creation of something new and birthing forth new life and initiating, being this like leader like energy which is ruled by the fire element. It's really sparking, igniting the flame within us and really bringing this powerful new energy. So it is like a new moon as well. It's Bharani is like it's everything is taking place, not just a full moon. It's a new moon, it's an eclipse. It is so much is happening in this energy. And I did talk about this in the November monthly video, where I feel that this month of November is just everything is accelerating and evolving and manifesting and creating all at once. There is just this powerful energy, and Bharani really symbolizes that, where there is this power of instant and real deep transformation and creation because of the ability in Bharani to transmute and to transform you. And I have 3 really good friends with this star in their chart, and one of my guides, my gurus, has this in his chart as well. And I do know quite a few people with this star in their chart, and one of my best friends who has this star in her chart, I have noticed this powerful gift that she has, which I believe comes from the Bharani portion of her chart, is through the practical means of yoga, of moving the body, and that's what she teaches. She is able to really quickly transmute darker energies, shadowy energies, difficult feelings, emotions, and this uncomfortable energy. She's able to transmute that and transform that so quickly, and it's this energy of purification. And actually I met another woman very recently who literally, she is a cleaner in as her day-to-day job, but as Also, the way that she connected with me is through her other spiritual side of things, where she is also a spiritual cleaner and cleanser and purifier, where she helps release negative entities, energies, frequencies from your life as well. And she has Bharani in her chart, so this is such a powerful energy of being able to purify ourselves so that we can transform ourselves, to transmute, to transform. This full moon is a really special day to honor all of the beautiful women in your life, your mother, your grandmothers, your sisters, your girlfriend, your wife, and your ancestors, and especially honor you and your divine feminine within, which no matter what gender you identify as, we all have this divine feminine energy within us, which definitely isn't as recognized or even valued in the current society that we live in. And there is so much programming that we need to clear, which is really going to come up towards the time of this full moon, to do with how much do we honor and value and recognize and make space for that sacred, powerful feminine energy, which is able to create and manifest and really form and transform our life in the most aligned and authentic way. I have this note written on my wall that says, intuitively, for me to make sure I'm always taking intuitively aligned, inspired actions which come from the divine, receptive, feminine flow. And I have to always remind myself that, because there is so much programming that I have to constantly push out of my mind, and really remind myself that I don't need to follow other people's timing and the masculine pressure of things. Like, I can trust myself and my feminine flow, which is not always going to be go 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 and at 100% like the masculine is. Like, we move with the ebbs and cycles and flows of the moon and our periods, and we don't always have full energy, because we have these periods of retreat, and that's at the time of the new moon when we need to really go within and just not do so much, and we need to sort of set the intentions behind the scenes of what we want to create. So yeah, it's a powerful time at this full moon to ask yourself if the things that you're doing in your life, all of the actions that you're taking, are they coming from a really divinely flowing feminine way of receptive creation, which is aligned and authentic and intuitive? Or are you pushing yourself out of alignment, out of resistance, because that is not flowing and that is not going to get you anywhere, actually? And it's a really powerful time to reflect on any fears, any distrust we have in life, and in our own power to create and to live in alignment, in trusting ourselves and in our flow, and honoring that, making space for that, and that powerful feminine wisdom, which with Bharani, like really powerful ways to do this is through breath work and yoga. With this theme of taking authentically aligned action, which is that Mars Aries action, the Aries part of this full moon is also very courageous, like a trailblazer. Aries is a leader, ready to defend and to protect and to fight for what is important to you and to what you believe in, and to, you know, stand up for yourself and to do the things that you need to do fearlessly, courageously. So on that end of making sure that you're not pushing yourself and pressuring yourself and going about your life in a state of resistance, it's also important to have a look at where maybe you're not pushing yourself enough. Maybe you're being stagnant in a certain area of your life, maybe not feeling courageous enough to go after some certain goals or things in your life that are really important to you. It's just a good time to ask yourself these questions, like, is there any area in your life where you're being either too stagnant or either pushing yourself too hard? Both are out of balance, and this month wants for us to have more balance and harmony and just real alignment, authentic alignment. So if we're pushing ourselves too much, we're going to get burnt out. And if we're being lazy and stagnant, and it might not even be laziness, it may be just out of fear that we feel paralyzed and stuck and we're not able to move. But in Vedic astrology, inactivity leads to this tamasic energy, which leads to depression and anxiety, and really it just regresses us back. So the Aries energy wants us to move, to constantly move, which is the teachings of Bharani, and also all of this Scorpio energy this month in November is that energy is always moving, nothing is stagnant. So when we are not allowing the energy to move by being stagnant, we're really creating a lot of disharmony within us. So we need to move, even if it's just some light movement, some yoga, stretching, breath work. So moving your body and moving your energy is so important, and it makes such a big difference to just releasing, to realigning, to recalibrating yourself. And if you are in either end of the spectrum of either like almost at burnout because you're pushing yourself too much, or if you're in this state of stagnancy and like freeze mode, really be kind to yourself. Self-love is always the cure. Bharani is ruled by Venus, which is the heart, and when you're coming from love for yourself and care and nurturance and that reparenting of giving yourself that motherly love by making sure you're, you know, eating nourishing foods and getting the rest that you need, and that divine fatherly love of doing the right actionable things that are going to help you feel better, then you'll be able to more intuitively and in alignment take those authentic actions that are fully aligned with your higher self and your growth. So it is a time to really ask yourself those questions and see where in your life needs more authentically aligned actions and steps to take for you. Maybe where you can add more yoga and breath work and practical spiritual tools to help you release and purify yourself and your vessel. Maybe it's through your diet. Aries rules the first house in astrology, which is all about our physical self, our physical body, our identity, the way that we look and feel about ourselves, and the way that we show up. So Bharani especially as well has a lot to do with this, and a lot to do with how we feel in our bodies because of the Bharani being ruled by Venus and the yoni, showing that more feminine aspect of how we relate to our physical sense of ourself. And that's why yoga and breath work is such a powerful tool found here in this energy to help us connect with our physical self and to really allow and accept all of the feelings that we have towards ourselves and our perception of ourselves, which determines what we are sort of emanating out into the world, and then also reflecting, attracting back to us. So with this sign of Bharani, there also comes these themes to do with allowing and accepting and being aware, and then taking accountability and responsibility for all parts of ourself and our life, because it's all sort of these like magnets that we are attracting and pulling into us, and attracting, reflecting, projecting. It's all to do with what we are emanating out through us, and we always have the power to shift any part of our life that we do not like. And the sign of Aries wants us to take our power back, and this month of November really wants us to do that, and to really mold and shape our thoughts and our beliefs, to release the programming, to release any conditioning that we have that is really not aligned with our authentic self and our truth. And with the full moon being in Aries, it means that the sun is in Libra at the time of this full moon, and the sun will be in the nakshatra called Swati. So the sun is opposing this full moon and giving us the energies of Swati, which is also really significant. And Swati wants us to maintain our independence and our authentic sort of lives while being in really authentic and balanced and fair connections and relationships with others, which is very Venus-like. And there is that theme playing out this month, and it's resurfacing. It will be resurfacing when Mercury goes retrograde, especially because we will be going back in time to revisit the relationships and the experiences that we've had in the past that maybe have taken away, or we have given away actually, our power, or betrayed ourselves. And the sun is going to be combusting Mars and Mercury this month, which means what is going to come up is the ways in which these external forces, especially authority or father-like figures in our life, but could be any external forces that seemingly have had more of a strong hold on us or more authority over us for whatever reason, have made us, or really we need to take responsibility now, but these forces have influenced us for us to forget our power and to give our power away, and for us to betray ourselves. And it's not for us to fully take the blame for everything, because there are definitely people out there who are so manipulative and narcissistic, and we, as like children for example, like we can't blame ourselves for having betrayed and abandoning ourselves when we have been sometimes programmed and conditioned on such an intense level. But it is so empowering to actually take all of that accountability and responsibility back to you, and to, like, when you do that, when you take the responsibility back to you, that is when you can shift everything and you can just take back all of your power, because then you are in control of rewriting these stories. You're not a victim anymore. And there is a lot of that theme coming up in the month of November, not only with this full moon, but yeah, even moving into the new moon at the end of, on the November 20th, happening in Scorpio Anuradha Nakshatra, which is also a lot to do with this dynamic of how we relate to others versus ourselves, and the need to be devoted to the right causes and the right people, and to make sure we're not overly giving our energies and being taken advantage of, and having boundaries when necessary, and having balance and peace and harmony basically in all aspects of our life, in all relationships. And yeah, this full moon, it is being opposed by the sun in Libra in Swati. So Swati and Libra is also that energy, just like reinforcing the need to have independence, but also divine connections with the people that we love and care about. And it all needs to be in balance and harmony. Like friendships, relationships, connections are so important, and so connected to what life is about, and what is like so healthy and harmonious and peaceful and loving, is being in divine connections and friendships and partnerships. But it also, it starts with you, and the most important connection that you have is with yourself. And yeah, Aries versus Libra with this full moon, that is a big theme playing out as well. But I'm going to stop this video here. I think I've said enough. I hope that you all have a really beautiful full moon, a beautiful month. Can't wait to see you all again soon. I'll see you all in the next new moon video.